Welcome to 8.1. This is graphing square and cube roots. So we are going to identify the graph of the two new parent functions, that being the square root and the cube root. We're going to then graph the function using horizontal and vertical shifts and using reflections. And these are things that we've done with other parent functions. So hopefully, as we talk through this, it comes back to you pretty quick and you can apply those transformations. All right, so just to review, earlier this year, we talked about the quadratic function, which is y, let me try that again, y equals x squared, and we talked about the cubic function, which is y equals x to the third. The reason that we're going to bring this up is because the square root function and the cube root function, they have a relationship with those, right? They're inverse operations. So square root function and cube root function. And we know with inverses, we've talked about that as well, what those functions look like. So first, let's review what a quadratic function looks like. We would graph 3 points, negative 1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. And my graph looked like this. Okay? So when we graph the square root function, that is an inverse of that. So when we talk about the inverse function, we talk about switching the x's and the y's. Well, we know that we can't output a negative value when we take a square root, so we're going to have to adjust that just a little bit. But our points that we're going to look at are 0, 0, 1, 1, and then 4, 2. And so it looks something like this, 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. So hopefully you can see that it's kind of like if I flipped my parabola on the side, but I just did the positive half of it. That's what that square root function is, and that's really what it looks like. Okay, and then we have our cubic function. The plot points that we plotted for this were negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and it looked like this, if you remember. And so we're going to do that again, same thing when we talk about inverse functions, right? We switch the points, we switch the x and the y, which in this case, our x's and our y's are the same. So our points are going to be the same, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. But our graph is going to look a little bit different because if we recall, inverse functions are they're reflected over the line y equals x. So I'm still going to graph negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. But instead of mirroring the cubic function, it's now going to go sideways like that. And so again, hopefully you can kind of imagine if I were to take my cubic function and flip it over that imaginary line of y equals x, it would end up like that. Okay, but these two, so the square root and the cube root function, these are the two that we're going to focus on for the rest of this lesson. So those are the 3 points that you're going to have to know in order to graph these, and then we're going to perform our transformations. So the first are the translations, which are the shifts, which again, we've talked a lot about throughout this year, so hopefully these look familiar. We have our vertical shifts, which shift up and down. That's f of x plus c or f of x minus c. It's outside of the function. And then we have the horizontal shifts, which shift right or left, and that would be within the function. So when we talk about radicals, because we're graphing square roots and cube roots, the vertical shifts are going to be outside of the radical. The horizontal shifts are going to be underneath the radical. And those are going to tell us right or left. Outside is going to tell us up or down. So these first three, we're just going to walk through what these transformations would be. So I have the cube root of x plus 2 minus 5. So again, this negative 5 on the outside tells us we're going down 5. And then this plus 2 on the inside tells us we're going to go left 2. Next one, I have the square root of x minus 4. This is under the radical, so that's right or left. And since it's minus, That's telling us right 4. Next one, cube root of x minus 4. So again, that inside is right 4. And then the plus 2 on the outside is telling us up 2. So hopefully you pick that up pretty quickly because, again, we have seen this quite a bit with other parent functions. Let's look at what an actual graph looks like, okay? So the parent function, we're going to identify the parent function, list the transformations, and then sketch the graph using at least 3 points. So this, my parent function would be the cube root of x, and that is the one that looks kind of like that. My transformations are right 2 and down 3. So in blue here, I'm just going to graph the points that are my parent function, which would be -1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. And then in red, I'm going to graph my actual function with its transformations. So each point I'm going to take to the right 2 and down 3. And so I'm starting with 0, 0, and then I know that those points, it's 1 below, 1 above. So I don't have to necessarily count all 3 points as long as I get one of them right and I know what the others look like, because if those all points are going to go in the same way. And now I'm just going to sketch my graph. It's going to look something like that. So the red is my actual graph of the function. Okay, here's another one. F of x equals the square root of x plus 4 plus 2. So my parent function is the square root of x, which is that graph. So I'm going to graph 0, 0, 1, 1, and 4, 2. Those are my parent function points. But I know that this graph is going to move left 4 and up 2. So I'm going to count left 4 and up 2. And that will be my 0, 0. So then this will be my 1, 1. And then this will be my 4, 2 from there. So that's, again, the red is the actual graph that I'm looking at. The blue is just those points that I need to know from the parent function. Okay, we'll do a few others just for practice. Square root of x plus 5 minus 4. Parent function is square root of x. So that's this. There's my points for the parent function. I know this is going to go left 5, down 4. So I'm going to count left 5, down 4, and then graph my other points. Okay, so there is the graph of my parent, or of my square root of x plus 5 minus 4. One more just to practice another cube root, which is that shape graph. So I have -1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. My translations are right 3 and up 1. So again, I'm going to start with 0, 0. I'm going to go right 3, up 1. And then I know those points have to be to either side of it. And my graph is this sideways line like that. Okay, so there's another example of a cube root function. We're going to skip ahead a little bit if you're following along in your packets and talk about reflections. So we have 2 reflections that we're going to look at. We have an x-axis reflection and a y-axis reflection. The x-axis, the negative is on the outside. The y-axis, the negative is on the inside. So again, that would be inside underneath the radical or outside of the radical would be the difference there. And when we do these reflections, just remember, we're always going to do the reflection first, then we're going to translate, we're going to do our slides. So we're going to start just like we did before, where we're just going to identify the parent function and the transformations. So my parent function is the square root of x, which looks like this. My transformations would be up 2, first of all, and then see how I have a negative x underneath the radical? So that's going to be a y-axis reflection. So if I think about taking my parent function and flipping it over the y-axis, it's going to go, instead of off to the right, it's going to go off to the left like that. second one, I have the negative cube root of x plus 1 minus 3. So the cube root of x is my parent function. Looks something like that. My transformations, I'm going to go left 1 and down 3. And then I have a negative outside, which tells me that's an x-axis reflection. So it's going to flip like up and down instead of left and right. And so it's going to end up looking like that. Last one, I have the square root of negative x minus 4 plus 5. So my parent function is the square root of x. Looks like that. My transformations, I'm going to go right 4, up 5, and then my negative is underneath the radical, which tells me a y-axis reflection. So that's like flipping left and right. So it's going to go off to the left now instead. And being able to just mentally or sketch an idea of what this graph looks like will help us when we go to actually start graphing. So let's do a couple examples here. Identify the parent function, list the transformations, sketch the graph, use at least 3 points. So same thing we're doing, we're just adding in reflections. So the parent function for this one is the cube root of x, which looks like that. -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1. My transformations, I'm going to go right 4, up 2, and then I have a negative on the outside, so that's an x-axis reflection. So I'm flipping up and down. So now instead of my original parent function shape, it's going to look more like that. So I'm going to take my points. First, I have to do the flip. So if I'm flipping this point, instead of -1, -1, it's going to become -1, 1. And then this point, instead of 1, 1, it's going to become 1, -1, because we're flipping over the x-axis here. So I'm going to perform my transformation, or sorry, my reflection, and then I'm going to go right 4, up 2. So there's that point. 0, 0 doesn't flip because it's just at the origin, so I'm going to go right 4, up 2. Oh, I might have gone up too high. Oh no, that's right. And then this one would be right here. Okay, so again, we know that the shape now is going to look like this because of the reflection. All right, last one we'll do together. Parent function is the square root of x, which looks like that. 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. My transformations are left 3, down 1, and then my negative is underneath the radical, so that is a y-axis reflection. So it's going to go off to the left instead. So I'm going to first start with 0, 0. I'm going to go left 3, down 1. So that's going to be right there. And then here's an example of how I know knowing the shape is going to help me, because I know it's supposed to go off to the left. So instead of counting each point, if I know that this is 0, 0, I know that this is going to be my next point because it's over and up 1 from there. And then I could count 2, 3, 4, up 2 from there. I'm just going in the opposite direction. If it's easier for you to actually do the reflection first and then count the points, that is totally fine as well. So that is the overview of graphing square and cube roots.